There's this one thing about you that haunts my thoughts day and night. It's not your fault, really, but it's something so deeply unsettling that I can't ignore how it impacts me. It's your passion and intensity, which makes me feel both drawn and terrified, as if being close to you might consume me whole. I can't shake the fear that sometimes grips me when I think about you. It's not about who you are, but the way your emotions run so deep and so raw. You have a way of revealing parts of yourself that make me feel vulnerable and exposed. It's as if your honesty and openness are both a blessing and a challenge I'm not sure I can handle. What scares me most about you is how much you make me question myself. The intensity of your feelings and the depth of your thoughts make me realize how much I still have to learn about myself. It's a fear that feels like it's growing with every moment we share, pushing me to confront parts of myself I've kept hidden for so long. There's something about your presence that unsettles me profoundly. It's not just your strength or your convictions, but the way you make me confront my own insecurities and fears. It's as if being around you forces me to face truths I'd rather avoid, and that can be both terrifying and transformative. The way you look at me with such intensity, it's as if you can see straight into my soul. It's frightening because I know that you see more of me than I'm willing to show. It's a fear of being truly known, and yet it's that same fear that makes me want to be closer to you. What makes me anxious is how your love feels like it has the power to unravel everything I thought I knew about myself. Your devotion is so deep that it makes me question whether I'm worthy of it or if I'm prepared to handle the enormity of your feelings. I find myself terrified by the way you seem to understand me without words. It's as if you have a sixth sense about my thoughts and emotions, and that kind of connection is both thrilling and intimidating. It's as if being seen so completely might mean losing myself. The intensity of your emotions is something that scares me more than I care to admit. It's not that you're overwhelming, but that your feelings are so strong they push me to confront my own fears and uncertainties. It's a challenge I'm not entirely sure I'm ready to face. What frightens me about you is how much you make me feel. It's as if your presence brings out emotions in me that I can't always control. It's not just about being vulnerable. It's about the fear that comes with feeling so deeply for someone who can have such a profound impact on my life. Sometimes I'm scared of how easily you can see through my facade. Your perceptiveness is a double-edged sword. It reveals my true self, but also exposes me to the possibility of being judged or rejected. It's a fear of intimacy that's as daunting as it is compelling. There's a part of me that is afraid of the depth of your commitment. It's not that I doubt your feelings, but that I'm scared of what it means for me. The prospect of having someone invest so much in me is both exhilarating and terrifying, and I don't always know how to handle it. What unsettles me about you is how your passion seems to touch every aspect of my life. It's as if your presence ignites a fire within me that I'm not sure I can control. The fear is not in the flames themselves, but in the uncertainty of what will be left once they've burned out. Your ability to make me confront my deepest fears is both a gift and a curse. It's scary how easily you can tap into my insecurities and make me face them head on. But it's also that same fear that makes me want to stay close, hoping that maybe, just maybe, I can overcome them with you. The thing that scares me the most about you is how much I've come to rely on your presence. It's as if you've become a crucial part of my emotional stability, and the thought of losing that connection is more frightening than I care to admit. It's a fear of dependency that I struggle to come to terms with. I'm afraid of the way you make me question everything I thought I knew about love and relationships. Your intensity and depth challenge my preconceived notions, and that can be overwhelming. It's a fear of change and the unknown that keeps me on edge, even as I'm drawn to you. What frightens me about you is how deeply your feelings affect me. It's as if your emotions are a mirror reflecting my own, making me confront parts of myself I'd rather keep hidden. It's a vulnerability that is both thrilling and intimidating. I fear the way your presence seems to stir up my unresolved issues and past traumas. It's not your fault. It's just that your emotional intensity makes me face things I'd rather avoid. But it's that same fear that pushes me to work through these issues, hoping to come out stronger. I find myself paralyzed by the way your emotions seem to sweep over me. It's as if your feelings have a power of their own, making me confront my own fears and insecurities. This intensity is both daunting and captivating, making me question whether I'm ready for such a profound connection. The way you make me face my deepest fears is both a blessing and a curse. Your presence challenges me to confront parts of myself I'd rather keep hidden. It's a fear of vulnerability that's both uncomfortable and transformative, pushing me to grow in ways I didn't expect. What frightens me about you is how easily you tap into my hidden fears. It's as if your emotional depth has the power to reveal aspects of myself that I've kept buried. This vulnerability is overwhelming, yet it's that same fear that draws me closer to you. I'm scared of the way your love makes me question my own emotional stability. Your passion and intensity are so powerful that they disrupt my sense of self. It's a fear of losing control, but it's also the very thing that makes me want to explore our connection further. The way you see through my defenses is both intimidating and enlightening. Your ability to understand me on such a deep level challenges me to confront my own fears and insecurities. It's a vulnerability that scares me, but also makes me want to be closer to you. I fear the way your presence can shift my emotional landscape. It's as if your feelings have the power to alter my own, making me question my stability. This fear of being overwhelmed by your emotions is both unsettling and intriguing. What unsettles me is how much you challenge my emotional boundaries. Your passion and intensity push me to confront aspects of myself I'd rather avoid. It's a fear of intimacy that's both frightening and compelling, drawing me into a deeper connection. I'm afraid of how your feelings seem to resonate so deeply with my own. It's as if your emotions mirror mine, making me confront my own vulnerabilities. This fear of being truly seen and understood is daunting, but it's also what keeps me engaged with you. The depth of your emotions is something that terrifies me. It's not just that you feel so strongly, but that your feelings make me question my own readiness for such a profound connection. This fear of being overwhelmed by your passion is both challenging and intriguing. What scares me about you is how easily you make me confront my own insecurities. Your emotional intensity reveals aspects of myself I'd rather keep hidden. It's a fear of vulnerability that's both unsettling and transformative, pushing me to grow closer to you. I'm scared of how your love seems to disrupt my emotional equilibrium. It's as if your feelings have the power to shake my sense of self, making me question my stability. This fear of being overwhelmed by your emotions is both daunting and compelling. The way you challenge my self-perceptions is something that frightens me. Your emotional depth forces me to confront parts of myself I'd rather avoid. It's a fear of self-discovery that's both uncomfortable and necessary for growth. What frightens me about you is how your presence seems to amplify my own emotional responses. It's as if your intensity triggers a reaction in me that I can't always control. This fear of losing myself in your feelings is both daunting and fascinating. I'm afraid of how deeply your feelings affect me. It's as if your passion and intensity make me question my own emotional stability. This fear of being overwhelmed by your emotions is both unsettling and intriguing, making me want to explore this connection further. The way you make me face my deepest fears is both a challenge and a revelation. Your presence brings out emotions I didn't know I had, pushing me to confront my own vulnerabilities. It's a fear of intimacy that's both daunting and captivating. What scares me is how easily you make me question everything I thought I knew about love. Your intensity and depth challenge my preconceived notions, making me feel both scared and excited. It's a fear of change that keeps me on edge, yet draws me closer to you. I find myself anxious about how much you reveal about me without even trying. Your emotional insight is both a gift and a challenge, making me confront parts of myself I'd rather keep hidden. It's a fear of being truly known that both frightens and fascinates me. The way you make me face my own vulnerabilities is something that scares me. Your emotional depth challenges my sense of self, pushing me to confront insecurities I'd rather avoid. This fear of vulnerability is both uncomfortable and transformative. What frightens me about you is how your feelings seem to resonate with my own. It's as if your emotions mirror mine, making me confront my own fears and uncertainties. This fear of being seen and understood is both daunting and intriguing.